Don't you wanna party? Standing in the crowd, feeling heartbeat. Everybody's carefree, everybody's carefree. Staying out all night, feeling like we're young. I just wanna dance, I just wanna dance, 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 dance.
Hi guys and welcome back. In today's video, if you haven't guessed already, I'm talking you through how to do this ultimate Regina George Mean Girls inspired makeup and costume tutorial. So if you want to find out how to get this look, just keep watching. This is the Spectrum Collections and Mean Girls Boom Book. It is a brush collection and makeup brush holder. The foundation brush, for example, she doesn't even go here on the handle. How cool is that? Regina's makeup is really relatively simple. Pretty young, pretty dewy, and very, very pink. To prime my skin today, I'm using the L'Oreal Tree Match Highlight, and this is in the shade Icy Glow. Start applying that highlight to my cheeks, chin, and forehead. I'm making sure to avoid most of the T-zone area. Now that my base is prepped and primed, I'm going to move on to color correcting that pigmentation that you can see on my skin. Today I'm using the Kryolan Dermacolor, and to apply that, I'm taking the Spectrum A07 brush, and this one says "That's so fetch" on the side. I'm just going to take the shade D7 just on that brush to try and dull down that redness. And using the Spectrum B03 brush, I'm just going to very gently buff and blend. I'm using the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation. I'm just going to apply that using my beauty blender, bounce that all over my skin. Regina George has some seriously light eyebrows. You can barely see them against her skin. I'm using the L'Oreal Paris Brow Artist Sculpt, and this is in the shade number 1 Blonde. I have never used this product before. This might go horribly wrong. Regina is usually all about that kind of sultry, smoked out liner. Even on her prom makeup look, she is always more about that smudged out liner. I have the Stila Matte and Metals palette. Literally has every shade that you might ever need for a Regina George makeup look. Those kind of matte mauvey shades here. But then you do also have the little flushes of shimmer as well, which look so beautiful and so delicate on the lid. I'm going to start by taking this shade here called Feathered, and I'm going to use my Spectrum B06 brush, and the quote on this is "You go Glen Coco." I'm going to take this shade here called Velour and just take that into the crease of my eye. And to add a wash of shimmer, I'm taking this shade here called Sequin. And to recreate Regina's sultry smoked eyes, I'm using the Pixi by Petra Endless Silky Eye Pen. We just need a very tiny bit tight lined on the lashes. Take some of that Pixi pencil onto that brush and just smudge that on the lower lash line. I'm going to add a touch of brow highlight. This is the B Brow Bar highlighter. I've never used this before, but when I swatched it earlier, I was really impressed with the shade. So I'm going to be brave and I'm going to give it a go. For my mascara, I'm using the Maybelline The Big Shot mascara, one of my favorite drugstore options. Let's finish up the base. I don't want to go too harsh or too hard on highlight and contour. Back in like 2002, 2003, people didn't really highlight and contour like they did today. I'm going to use the Collection Precision Contouring Pen. This is in the shade Medium. Apply it into the hollows of my cheeks, down towards my jaw. I'm also going to take that contour stick under my chin. I'm also going to take that contour along my temple. With our contour complete, let's move on to concealer and highlighter. I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. Pop that onto the back of my hand like so. Dab that into the under eye area. And I'm going back to that A07 brush to just blend it out. I'm also going to take a very small amount of that onto my forehead and my chin. And to set my base, I'm using a small amount of the Ben Nye Super White Powder. I'm also going to add a touch of the Hoola bronzer. Now there's one thing that always stands out about a Regina George look, her hot pink blush. I'm using the Bourjois Paris Little Round Pot number 42 Rose Blossom. This is the Spectrum A01. You can walk home, bitches. Brush. Just sweep that along the highest point of my cheeks. I feel like that Bourjois blush has a little bit too much shimmer. I'm gonna take the Zoeva Pink Spectrum palette, shade PK020. I'm just gonna matte that. Oh, there we go. That's much better. I should have just used this one in the first place. As far as highlighter goes, in terms of 2017 standards, Regina George practically doesn't wear any. I'm using the Tanya Burr Illuminating Powder, and this is in the shade Champagne Sorbet. This is the A10 brush, and it's called Gruel. A little tiny touch to the end of my nose, a little bit just in between my brows, under my brow. And I'm gonna add a touch to my forehead on the very top of my cheekbone. Let's finish up with some lips. I'm using the Huda Beauty Trophy Wife lip liner. And to finish up my look, I'm using the Maybelline Color Sensational lipstick in the shade Pink Fling 207. And to finish up those lips, I'm going to pop on a small amount of the Fenty Beauty Lip Balm. Now that everything is finished up, there's one thing left to do to really get that true Regina George look. Let's go get ready for prom. So Regina's headdress was actually relatively simple to put together. Everything that we used you can purchase from a hardware store, and everything is super affordable and most importantly safe. You're gonna need some of this galvanized steel, or maybe it's aluminium, and some bolt cutters. You need to cut enough so you can create your halo that goes around your head, and make sure you leave extra room. Secure that with tape for now, because when you're happy with it, you can then go in with your nuts, bolts, and washers. Now the side pieces were quite tricky and took a very long time to figure out what to use. We finally settled on some flat T's and L's to get that shape right. Make sure you secure those with nuts, bolts, and washers for a safe and secure fit. Next, we purchased some of these kind of 4-bolt things. I don't know what they're called. We used it to extend and then put another flat L on the end, and again secure that with nuts and bolts. And this then creates that shape that you see on the side. However, we didn't really buy the right parts, so things didn't really match up as well as they should have. If this happens, just put a bit of tape on it for now, and then you can glue gun or fix it later. When it comes to the poles, it took us 5 different hardware stores to find the right parts. We used some PVC pipe and pipe clips. You want to make sure that you can secure your pipe clips to your flat L, again using nuts and bolts. That way you can easily slot your pipe in. Next, attach your sides to your halo, being sure to take your time to get the positioning right on this. You need to make sure there's space for your head. The side poles just tuck into the back of a belt, so to make sure they're extra support and strengthened, we used some of these side brackets to hold it in its shape. Your pipe will then easily slot into the clips. Safety is so important, so do make sure that all of your screws are pointing outwards, away from your head. And to make sure all of that metalwork is safe, we glue gunned ours to some foam. You can use any kind of craft foam or any kind of soft black material or a fake leather even to do this. Fold it over and then you can poke your screws through it. And for the flowers, I purchased 2 bunches of faux sweet peas from eBay and secured with tape.
Don't you wanna party? Standing in the crowd, feeling heartbeat. Don't you wanna party? Don't you wanna party? Staying out all night, feeling like we're young, acting like tomorrow will never come, counting every moment till the weekend comes. I just wanna dance, I just wanna dance, 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 dance.
And this is the finished look. It is my ultimate Regina George Mean Girls makeup and costume tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you liked my makeup. There is so much room for activities in this thing. Like, oh my god. Shout out to one of my best friends, Charles, who came over for like 4 days to help me build it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and for more full transformation videos you can click here or here. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye!